Hey guys, welcome to our movie review for Fight or Flight, which is billing itself as a kind of a John Wick on a plane.
Or Bullet Train.
Or Bullet Train, where you have like
movie.
these badass assassins, kicking each other's ass in small, tight, confined spaces. The trailer looked interesting. I like Josh Hartnett. I wanted to see some action. I wanted to see some fun and some goofy. And this film seemed to try to fit the bill. This week coming out in theaters, Fight or Flight, Clown in the Cornfield.
That's what I wanted to see.
Shadow Force. And I chose wrong.
Yes.
So do not make the same mistake that we made. This film was fucking terrible. It was cringe. From first-time director and first-time writer. First-time director James Madigan. First-time writer Brooks McLaren. And DJ Cotrona, which, fun fact here, he was in one of the G.I. Joes. He was actually cast as Superman in Justice League Mortal 20 years ago. But that got canceled before it came out. Yeah. Anyways, fun fact for you. But their writing is terrible. And I'm surprised that on Rotten Tomatoes right now, it is a 79%. Because while the film actually starts well enough, I kind of get the premise. You know, I think the premise is interesting. You've got this hacker, the ghost, and you got to find the ghost on the plane. But at the same time, there's tons of other assassins on the plane. And I'd say the first, 20 minutes are good. Once he has his first fight with this Hispanic dude, with a kind of a, they try to do some wackiness with every character having something unique and looking weird and off and being some kind of colorful comic book character in this crazy world. After that happens, it goes, ooh,
yep,
and it's real bad. And if you're not into, terrible writing, cringe jokes, over the top, comedy that none of it is funny, and it commits the biggest sin. I wanted to start with that. An action film that commits the biggest sin. Anytime there's punching and kicking and fighting, the film director decides to do this. Okay? I can end the fucking review here, okay? I want to go and see Josh Hartnett and John Wick on a plane. I don't want you to do this the whole fucking time. And it's not as if the choreography is particularly bad. It's not particularly inspired. Like there's certain sequence in John Wick where you're like, man, that's creative. Not really here. Most you get is, hey, what if we fucking throw in a chainsaw? Or what if we fucking... What if we put in a butter knife? What if we put in a gun? It feels as if the film was written on the fly. Well, what if we do this now? But it feels like it was written by a 12-year-old, and a 12-year-old's idea of, I can write Bullet Train better, and I'm gonna put in a message, and the message is, child labor's bad, and Twitter. And social media and little kids, something.
Kids are bad and gay.
Yeah. And it just loses all steam. I fucking hated it. Josh Hartnett is the best part. He can still act. He can do some action. And he holds up most of it. So just watching his performance, all of the surrounding characters around him, terrible. And awful, uninteresting, paper-thin characters. Yep. Katie Sackhoff is in here. I love her, but she has nothing. This Henry Rollins' son is in here. No, I don't know if it's his son. Just looks like him, just talks like him. And it's terrible. And they take... There's these awkward moments in the film, and in the theater, nobody reacted. It fell flat. And some cheap shots, too, that felt just, nasty. And it's like, you're not at the talent level to do any of these or to take the shot. Or you think you're you're punching down, you're punching up, and you're not even in the room. I don't know. This was bad, and I wanted it to be good. What did you guys think?
This movie, I liked the beginning. I liked where it was going, but then like what you were saying, this movie
Where
felt
did it
like
fall off for you? Same place?
pretty much as soon as we got through playing one action scene, and it honestly felt like it was dragging on. This movie felt longer than fucking Lord of the Rings, but obviously Lord of the Rings.
1 hour, 37 minutes.
Yeah, I looked it up and I was like, nope, it's shorter. I was like, this movie felt fucking long. Like,
Yeah,
I
because
kept
you got
looking at-
punched out early.
Yeah, like
when you
super
get punched
early.
out, and this film keeps stacking stupid upon cringe,
Yeah.
upon unbelievability, upon shitty one-note crappy characters, upon dialogue that feels so awkward, and it's supposed to be a Looney Tunes world. I think they're going for it. So the most you could say is at least they went for it.
I think maybe if it would have worked if everything was like cut by like 40, 30. keep it a fucking
The
hour,
movie
like an
would've
hour.
worked
Because you could only do
if
so
you cut
much.
half of it.
You could only do so much in the fucking
Right.
plane. Like do some of the hijinks and stuff like that. Maybe that would have worked, but it didn't work for me. It went over the top where it was just like eye rolling. These characters kind of like you think they're gonna do something, kind of feel like they're wasted.
Yeah.
And then like towards the end, I'm like, okay, well now we're actually gonna wind down and all right, let's just get the fuck out of here and go review this movie. No, there's more to this movie. At the end, they're like, well, here's another story. Let me tell you a story. It's like, oh, now we gotta do this
my God,
and
I
this
forgot.
and this.
I was so
I'm
checked
like, what
out.
the fuck?
So
it keeps going.
by the end, it does the thing that
you
shitty
find out-
movies do
yeah,
all the
yes,
fucking
yes.
time, and it hasn't been in a while since we've seen this, where it sequel baits so goddamn hard, where it almost starts the next story in a desperate attempt to be like, please, pretty please, let's continue this going. And it's
I'm
like,
just-
no, none of your characters are
And me.
interesting enough.
And me.
And me.
Just end it.
End it all.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah, this movie's dog shit. It's like Bullet Train, but written by someone who... Zack Snyder's Bullet Train. Like, no one was telling this idiot no. No one was telling him, hey, the tone doesn't make any sense because we're taking it seriously here. It gets really goofy here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not a good idea to add characters, important new characters that don't even look like they're from this fucking movie, that show up out of nowhere. And you just... It's like, where the fuck did this come from? And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And
In
I
stereotypical costumes. It's as if they were at a drama club, you know, like where they do improv or
yeah.
something.
Hey, I love
yes,
that kind of
and-
stuff, though.
I hate that kind of stuff
I
when
love
it's done
it.
poorly.
Well, 2 drink minimum,
This
so you
is-
gotta drink and like, all right.
Yeah,
But one thing so it's like you say yes and we move on and we do those things, but they also talk about Crazy Town where it's
Yes,
like you do
yes.
not go to a place that's completely unrelated to what we're talking about here and lift it to a different level or a different tone, and no one told these people that because this movie is really fucking stupid. And I love Bullet Train. I watched that twice.
Yeah.
And it's like
Bullet
that
Train is not fucking stupid though.
it was done well and
it's over the top. It's cartoony, Looney Tunes. Like
Yeah,
this
done
wants
well.
to be.
this wants to
Exactly.
do that, but this movie has none of the restraint, none of the nuance, and I this is a giant fucking waste of time. We could have done. I would have rather watched Clowns with Cornfield.
Yeah, I
Clown
heard
Hard.
that was good. I heard it's
Well, I
doing
just-
all right, with and the ending is a
I
little
was just
tropey.
surprised that
There's
that
also
was out
Shadow
there.
Force, which is
No.
another family
looks like a
over
Netflix.
family over everything, Joe.
That looks like a
Family.
Netflix movie.
Yes.
It does,
Yes.
but so does this. This is like a Netflix watch, and even if this was on Netflix, I would still be like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Like the movie is fucking stupid. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, don't waste your money on this.
Do not
film.
waste. I am so happy to tell you guys,
Don't waste
do
your
not waste your money on it. Rarely do I say, hey, go, don't go. But it's been a while since we've seen a movie this bad, Borderlands level kind of bad. And if you watch it, you're only watching it for morbid curiosities to see how stupid it is.
Yeah, you can
So
wait
you'd be
for
like,
that.
ha, the boys were right.
Yeah, you
This
can
is
wait
pretty
for that.
bad.
'Cause-
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
without
it.
getting-
I don't.
yeah,
I don't.
just
Re-
without getting too much
we
spoilers.
don't. We don't really need to go too far into this. Like I said, I think Josh Hartnett puts in the best he can, and so he elevates the material. But whereas some reviewers are like, "Well, Josh Hartnett is high octane action, and Josh Hartnett is doing great," and I was like, I agree. But they think the material he's lifting was already average or slightly above average, and is elevating it. I think the material was, like Alex said, it's literal dog shit. It's second harvest dog shit, because we've seen these tropes. It falls into 100% trope territory. And unforgivably, at the beginning of the movie, his first two dialogues or mannerisms, you know the entire plot of the entire film. There's a kid, and a kid runs up to him while he's sleeping out drunk. He steals his money. He's about to steal the drink, but then he wakes up and he says, "You little shit," and he takes the drink back, but he lets the kid have the money, and he's got a soft spot for kids. That's the whole movie. The very next thing is like, "Oh, Ghost. This ghost person, what an incredible hacker. He's the best hacker on Earth. Gosh, what a guy. What a man. He must be amazing with the dude in a cock. And he probably has muscles, and he's so vascular.
Hey.
We gotta be looking for this guy." And it's a fucking girl. And it's a girl that's a kid. And the fucking evil lady's like, "I'm gonna send you on this job, but you better not let your moral compass jump in the way." And then his moral compass jumps in the, and like the fucking dialogue, I hate it. This fucking stupid. And you have to be able to recognize, Bullet Train and Fight or Flight. If Fight or Flight, never mind. I'm not going there. You enjoyed it? Go ahead. It is just stupid, and I hated it. And they do the wacky. Look, even I was guilty of this one time. Man, one of my downvoted videos was like I did an annoying orange kind of thing one time.
I remember that.
I don't remember what it was with. It wasn't our. It wasn't the. Oh my God, Joe! This game. What game was that? Brick or what was the name of that game?
I know.
That was the successful one, but I did some other parody where you do, the large mouth and then the wacky eyes and the talking man. That happens in here, and it's such an amateur photo. It's an amateur effect on a junior computer, Apple computer for children effect, and it's in a major motion picture, and it's so cringy and I hate it. Okay, so let's go to final verdicts.
I'm gonna go with the 3. This is this is like Temu, Bullet Train, fucking Crank, John Wick. It's just
Do you think because it's a British movie? Do I just hate British action movies? No. There's plenty of good ones. Guy Pearce and all sorts. No. There's plenty. Like, something feels lost in translation. It almost feels like it's a completely foreign movie where it's not British. It's like, I don't know, some country that doesn't speak English, and then translated a few times, and then the 12-year-old writer who's fell down, hit his head really hard, and then watched Bullet Train and said, "That shit sucks. I can do better." That's kind of how it is.
Yeah, I want to give it that score because, again, we hated the shaky cam. Shaky cam's like, look, I just want to focus on some of the fighting stuff. It's like there wasn't turbulence, there wasn't anything. There's no reason for the you on a plane. There's no reason for this fucking shaky cam. Like, just show it off. Like, it didn't look bad. The fighting sequence.
It was all right.
The characters are fucking dumb. It was over the top. The pacing on this was all over the place. I wanted this shit to end. It never ended. It just dragged on, and for that, honestly, it just made me resent the film more.
The film.
I don't want any of
And
this.
then when they add in that preachy fucking talking down to you bullshit world peace, child labor, and they blame motherfucking cell phones and video game consoles.
Google, everything.
I'm like, what are you doing? You are the soapbox. Please go home.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I think it actually. I like some of the action scenes. I wish I could have seen them because of the shaky thing. Because like, there's really cool stuff happening on screen. It's like when you're watching the commercial, you're like, "Hey, this looks pretty cool. There's some cool stuff that we can do." You just can't see it because it's shaking so badly. The characters are unlikable. There are characters played deadly serious. There are ridiculous goofball characters. There's characters that come out of left field right at the end of the movie that are wildly important, that do weird stuff for no reason. Motivations are crazy. There's something that happens at the end of the movie that I don't care. Like I was going to ask you about it, but I don't care.
We'll talk about it in spoilers because do not see this movie.
But like this movie is really
talking
stupid.
about the Mormons?
Yeah. It's really stupid. Like this whole movie is very, very dumb. And even when it's on streaming, I don't recommend you waste your, there's garbage on the streaming services, but like this is even bad for that. Like I can see, like, sometimes I'm in the mood for some of these goofy things. Like, I kind of liked Argyle. I definitely like Bullet Train. This is so much worse than both of those things that it has no purpose, and I don't want anyone involved in this to have a career.
Yeah.
Like, from the production, writing, directing. Like, I want them to not get work anymore.
And then Mormons break in and they start punching people because, and then the Chinese come in and they have to be wearing the traditional Chinese outfits, and then they do the kung fu, and why do they help? Because a long time ago you protect their land, and then everybody gets up from their chair and everybody.
They're sworn guardians of the girl Joe that were protecting her for the last hour and a half.
You're special. You're very special. But you're not going to get a big budget movie to be made and get it in theaters. And then it was made and put into theaters.
It's someone's kid.
And
it's got to be someone's kid.
At the beginning of this film, there is like 6 different fucking logos for companies that put this film together.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably the only way this thing got funded.
I always
because
think of
somebody's
Family
mom
Guy.
and then somebody this and that.
I always think of Family Guy when
Did
that
they do a
happens.
joke?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this is the movie," and then it starts going, and then it's the logo. Oh, this is the movie. Oh, then the logo.
Yeah,
But
keep
it
thinking
keeps
there's
going
logo.
over and over.
There was 6 fucking logos. That tells you everything you need to know. It's awful. Do not waste your time.
Nope.
Alex, did you give a score?
Yeah, 3.
I'm going to, I want to give it a 3 because I agree. There are 1 or 2 good action scenes in here that are ruined, maybe even more, but they're ruined by the shaky cam. It kind of just runs out of steam. The stupidity of the characters coming in, nonsensical stuff. And if it's supposed to be Looney Tunes-esque, then it just needs to be more funny. It needs to be over the top. But here, you fell into cringe. You got knocked out of the movie early, and you're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this shit? Like, what the fuck? It's nonsense. And I hated it. And then at one point, we'll talk about it in spoilers. So, fucking 3. 3 out of 10. You're lucky I'm not giving it a 2. I'm giving it a 3 because somebody on set knew how to choreograph action. Josh Hartnett does his fucking best. And the concept. But you fucked it up, and that's why you don't get the rest of the points. So go watch this week. If you got to go to the theaters this week, it's probably going to be the clown movie or maybe Shadow Force. I'm wondering if Shadow Force is better than this, where it just takes itself too seriously.
This is 70 what on Rotten?
Right now on Rotten
79.
Tomatoes, there's no popcorn meter. It's super early. We just saw it. It was the first showing, and it's 79%. I think it'll go down. I don't know. That's crazy.
It is.
This is
This
the
is like,
degradation
no.
of. Is this your first Bullet Train type movie?
It's like, oh, honey,
Smoking
no.
Aces.
No.
Everything is better than this.
I don't know, like, because I'm looking at the people involved. Like, apparently James Madigan is competent. DJ Catrona. I mean, like you said, like these people have worked on. Like, I don't know how this came together and turned into such a piece of shit.
James Madigan has other things to his credit. I thought it was a first-time director.
Movie
then
director.
It's a first-time
Movie director, but
first-time movie director.
Yeah, apparently he's got nominated for
second
Emmys.
unit and a visual effects known for Rise of the Beast, Transformers visual effects.
Whoever wrote the writing is terrible.
Yeah, first-time movie director, first-time movie writer. It's awful. All right. enough of this. We're going to tell you how stupid it is and spoilers because, yeah, it'll save you some money. Hey, welcome to the fucking spoilers section. So, obviously, when he gets on the plane and they've shown how super secret this fucking ghost hacker is, yet they know at the beginning of the movie, they're like, oh, the ghost? No way. And they click on the computer, and then it brings up every single thing that the ghost has done. It's like, well, how did you know the ghost did that if the ghost cleans its trail every single time? And in the newspaper articles, none of those articles are contributed to the ghost. Maybe later on the ghost puts on the dark web, I did all these things. Whatever. You know right away it's a female because of the fucking script slapping you across the face. This guy, this man, he must be this, he must be that. We got to get him, take him out. And then at the beginning of the scene, there's like, you know, this body cam where all the soldiers are getting beaten up and taken out. But you don't even get to see the soldiers getting beaten up before. It just turns into the TV static and you hear them get hurt. And there's a Wilhelm scream. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, maybe this is going to be the comedy. It's going to be comedy good. But it's comedy bad, unfortunately. And really weak performances. You've got the shady young go-getter who's aggressive and he's an asshole to people. And then his boss comes in. He's super scared of his boss, and it's Katie Sackhoff, and they're apparently this shadow organization, or at least you think so at first.
You think they're like some sort of like government agency, like CIA or worse. But
then it's revealed, Alex. What is it revealed?
They work for Twitter.
They're on fucking Twitter. It's Blue Hue. It's their version of Twitter, and for no reason, as they're walking outside, which makes this reveal, the guy, she's like, how the agent she sent picture gets disseminated all across the fucking plane, and they're like, wait a minute, I didn't send that picture, and now my agent's being attacked by everybody. Turns out it was her protege, and he did it, and he's like, the real target is this fucking stupid little box that she said she built in a day, and she says it's more powerful than a supercomputer that fills an entire room that would take 1,000 days to crack this code. My little suitcase can do it in 30 seconds. And I'm like, oh my goodness, fucking
yeah, but
bitch,
once you find
serious?
that out, like it's already
So
like
stupid.
towards the end
And
of the
then
movie,
it
and it
looks like
keeps continuing. I'm like, this plot needs to fucking end.
Yeah, it looks like a little potato. It's got little fucking
Behave
jumper
yourself.
cable wires on it. I'm like, I hate life. And the film wants you to take that serious. It's not a joke. Like if they made it like a joke and flung the device around, getting hit and having fun with it, fine.
Yeah,
but
the tone
no,
was off.
it's totally serious.
Well, because Katie Sackhoff is played completely serious, like, and then the joke they actually do make in the scene is infuriating because it's just not fucking funny. They look at some people doing like Tai Chi or yoga, and they're like, these are the kind of people who give out participation trophies, and it's like,
They're
look,
like, these people
I don't like
fucking
those people
disgust
anyway,
me.
but it's like. That is such a shitty fucking joke.
It was, and I thought it was going to go somewhere.
No.
I thought that she already knew that he had disseminated information and she likes her boyfriend, so she's going to kill him, and she's going to be like, kill him. And all the yoga assassins, because he's like, yeah, they're these fucking idiots doing yoga. And you think, okay, maybe the yoga people will come in later and they're actual assassins too because the film is over the top.
Nope.
No, it's just a cheap shot at people that do yoga. So, okay, cool. You guys I get it. Y'all are pieces of shit, but it just feels off. It has that writing of a political message, but done really fucking poorly, handled real poorly, that does damage to it. So why are these people so evil? Well, because they're trying to protect their networking. What was it? No, their supply chains.
Supply chain, because they
Why are they trying to protect the supply chains? Because cell phones and video game consoles, they name these specifically. Video game consoles and cell phones are bad because they're made, and these corporations are bad because they're made by children and child labor and slave labor.
She's been destroying everything.
Yeah. So the ghost is really a good guy.
And the ghost has been doing Robin Hood things. Or what did she do? Does anybody fucking remember?
Yeah, she stole a bunch of money from generals in Yemen or in Djibouti, and then she blew up an electronics factory
where child labor was being used.
And she stopped the ancient Shaolin warrior women
from having their land taken
strip
from them.
mined.
So she bought the land with a lot of money instead of them, and they devote their life to her. So that's why you see these Chinese warriors show up.
So they're there to protect her, and for the first half of the movie,
nowhere to be found.
And then people keep constantly trying to kill her and everything, and then randomly they show up, and they look like they're from Power Rangers. Like the outfits look bad, the haircuts look bad, they don't fit anything.
The actresses don't fit the tough people role,
and then they just show up, and then they're badasses
it's
for sure.
With somebody's friends, and they just put this role. Wouldn't it be funny if we came in and we were all traditionally dressed and we did our kung fu? The first thing she does is throws a grapple hook that pierces a guy's chest. And that's the kind of stuff there was more of in the film, where it just goes completely over the top and you're just like fucking doing crazy shit. But there's not enough of that. There's talking. I came to the fucking film to watch Josh Hartnett beat up 100 assassins on a fucking plane, and it turns out after he beats up the first assassin, there's nothing but fucking talking with the ghost, who, this actress, bless her heart, she's trying, and then these flight attendants, these gay stereotypes, over the top characters that contribute nothing to the story and really do a disservice to people, professional flight attendants. I know several. I'm just so tired of the fucking flight attendant stereotype. This film does nothing to do anything interesting. It's always results in the lowest common denominator or the trope or the thing. So, then the guy shows up and it turns out, he's about to kill the lady, but she was smarter than him and she had poisoned his coffee before this assassin could get to her. And it just goes that way the whole fucking time. And she turns into an Uber assassin when they're in the bottom level of the plane. And Josh Hartnett figures out who she is. And there's a guy there who's, got guns. And then he's about to kill her. And she turns around, and but then the next scene, she doesn't know how to fight. So it's like, wait a minute. But you just established yourself as a great shot. But then in the next scene, you're getting beat up. I don't know. So and then you have these it's stupid.
It's just too much. And then also there was this one character, I thought she was gonna do something else. You see her kind of like scoping out people walking by.
The lady with the fucking glasses.
Yeah,
oh
and
my God,
she's got these contacts. It's like, okay, what the fuck is this going? It went fucking nowhere for a stupid ass gag that didn't fucking work.
A drug gag where he's high. This is so low level common. And this writing, I fucking hate. So, okay, this lady initially sees a sky marshal, and she gets up from her seat and follows him. And you take one look at this lady, you're like, she's an assassin. Even and at one point they're looking at the plane, looking at every single person. He walks right by her. It's like, there's no way you didn't notice that lady. And I was like, no, he's just letting other people not know that he knows it. No, he just didn't recognize her, even though she has snake eyes and she's wearing full leather and in this badass outfit and was wide awake when he's like, most of the people going to sleep, people that are awake are probably assassins. So then she gets up, kills the sky marshal off screen. And she shoves his dead body down a chute. But then in the film, she sits in her seat the most of the fucking way until, I don't know, Josh Hartnett is fighting completely different people. And then that's when she decides to get up, get in his face, and instead of immediately attacking him and killing him like every single other person, there's been like 7 dudes that just attacked and tried to kill him. And she doesn't try to kill him. She just tries to talk to him. She's like, I am going to kill you with the death. And she gives a fucking villain speech.
Adversary.
Just give her up. Yeah.
It's even worse because the only reason that he's high is because he's been stabbed and he's worried about dying, and so he thinks he's taking adrenaline. And it turns out that the veterinarian had a vial of toad venom that she put a label of adrenaline.
So
like, when did this happen?
The veterinarian who she goes to because the ghost got hurt before going on this fucking adventure, who, by the way, is not an adventure. She set it up the whole time. She set up to be the pilot eventually. She set up to have the Chinese bodyguards there. But did she set up to not look at the manifest to see all these assassins on the thing? But whatever. She ends up on the plane, and this veterinarian gave her a bunch of stuff. So you're telling me the veterinarian is trying to be helpful to her, gave her a vial labeled adrenaline, only to be like, aha, ha, ha, I fooled you. I play joke. What joke are you playing? The vial is toad venom.
No, this movie got made. And then what happens?
Yeah. And then what happens? And then the adrenaline bottle
let's write this down.
Wasn't the adrenaline bottle.
All right, let's write
it. It was toad venom. We have to use toad venom because the way he's acting is not adrenaline. The way he's acting is not toad venom. You'd be dead in any instance. And I guess he acts as if he's fucking high on marijuana. It's so stupid.
He's like on a nasty trip.
He's on mushrooms or something. It's so stupid. Why would the veterinarian why mislead? It doesn't matter. That's this whole film. I'm just writing.
Well, and the veterinarian, and they explain that the veterinarian is trying to cover for the ghost because the ghost actually is a good person. They have to torture the veterinarian to get her. So it's like she's not trying to hurt the ghost. She's trying to, no, let me help you because you're saving the children and you're trying to stop the cobalt mining.
So here, use this as poison to pour in the coffee. Use this, and here's adrenaline if you need it.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink the adrenaline, and I'm going to go.
And the ghost at this point also does not want to hurt Josh Hartnett because it's the only person that's been saving her life, and she thinks he's a good person and all this other stuff. So nothing makes fucking sense. No. And I hate this goddamn movie. And I know that there's people that are be like, hey, if you turn your brain off, you can enjoy some of these things. The problem is I would stop breathing. You have to hit a level where your brain just stops fucking functioning. I'm not a house plant.
I like the part where they use the chainsaw on the plane. It's like, yeah, me too. But like, wouldn't it be better if like all the things around that were at a higher level? And that's the difference between movies. This movie's good. 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 When are you gonna be like this? Oh, that's slightly less good because this is
still good.
That now you're a critic. Now you understand, right? We've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of films, and this is the lowest common denominator in this particular genre. It's dumb. It's stupid. So then eventually, everybody has his picture, so everybody's trying to kill him, and he is just acting so over the top. He's having fun. Josh Hartnett is having fun doing his toad thing where his eyes are, ooh, I'm googly, and I'm listening to you, and then that's when the stupid CGI effects pop
with
in.
The monks in space, and the background gets all crazy.
Crouching Tiger hit you and dragon.
So then he looks at the Chinese bodyguards fighting, and then the film changes perspectives, and she's on a background, in a galactic background, and smiling. It's so like cringy, and it's dumb. And eventually, somebody brings up a fucking chainsaw, and he gets the chainsaw, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go!" And I'm like, "Man, this has jumped the shark and gone into crazy territory." And then he just starts chainsawing people.
Yeah. The pilots who have been informed of everything, he's like, hey, there's a bunch of assassins. We already have a huge body count. Do not open this door under any circumstance. You guys have to land the plane. You have to do all these things. And pilot just immediately goes, hey, I need some air. And
I need some air. What?
Where the fuck
what
are you
air?
go?
How is the air going to be any different
in
this on the side of the wall versus this side of the door? Opens it. But as he's opening it, the door comes bursting open, and it's two Mormons in their Mormon outfits.
I don't get
One
it.
of them holding a Bible, or the Book of Mormon, rather, sorry, and they just start beating up the pilots for no reason. And I was like, oh, okay, they're assassins. They're not assassins. Or maybe they are assassins that lie later on that say, somebody killed the pilots. Ha, that's a funny joke, get it? And nobody ever says, are these assassins? Like, For no reason, they burst in, they beat up all the pilots, and then once the pilots are beat up and unconscious, they look and notice that nobody's flying the plane because you beat up the pilots. And they go, ah!
Yeah. Well, they shot one of the pilots in the eye. That guy's definitely dead.
Yes.
And then the other
that
one.
That made no sense.
Yeah.
What was the purpose?
Why did they attack the pilots? If they're assassins, there would be no reason for them to attack the pilots. The implication, the way the film is framed is that there's so much chaos going on outside, and if you open the door, the chaos comes into the cockpit. The pilots get involved in the chaos. End scene, the pilots get killed. End scene, but they didn't bother to set it up. Use the correct characters in that instance. I don't know.
They did it in Bullet Train,
Mormons.
Joe.
They're Mormon assassins. That their mission the whole time was to assassinate the pilots because they don't even attack. They don't even attack Josh Hartnett's character. They don't attack the ghost. They don't do anything. They literally disappear from the film.
Makes no goddamn sense.
After they walk in, when everybody's like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And they're like, "Oh, the pilots are dead. Somebody killed the pilots." Then they leave the scene.
Yeah.
So then the ghost and Josh go into the cockpit, and the ghost apparently can fly. She says the pilots never flew the plane,
It was all
which is a
me.
lie because they clearly took off and they clearly were flying the plane at some point.
Well, and when the cabin
But she-
depressurized,
Yeah, they fixed
they
it.
had to be the ones that take it from 32,000 feet to 8,000 feet, or they were all going to die.
It makes no sense, and I fucking hate when nothing makes any sense and you have the writing of a fucking moron. There's too many things to try to forgive. And her implication is they were just patsies and they were using autopilot. And I was going to eventually come in here, I don't know, assassinate them both. And even though she's not an assassin, but I was going to take over the plane and take it where I needed to go.
I have a question.
We were never going to San Francisco.
What about all those people, the regular people that thought they were going to San Francisco?
I don't give a fuck,
What
Joe.
about
They
them?
don't. They have no say in it, Joe. They just watched a bunch of people murder a bunch of people with chainsaws.
And then where did they go?
They just have to find other flights once they go wherever they go.
She also has hundreds of millions of dollars. Why the fuck is she flying commercial?
It made no sense. And if you could set up all these Chinese bodyguards on the plane and you can set up that you were going to take over the plane, why didn't you just use your money, like Alex said, to not have to deal with any of this and just disappear into the people and fly later? She's bleeding. And that's what gives her away initially is that she's a flight attendant. He's like, I see what you're doing. It's clever that you chose to be a flight attendant instead of a passenger. Nobody's looking for a flight attendant. And she's like, no, what are you talking about? That's not me. And then she has blood on her. And yeah, it's because she was wounded in the last fight where she beat up an elite team of soldiers by herself off screen. I don't know, man. This was dumb as fuck.
But it's not over yet, Joe,
I hated
because
we have to resolve Katie.
Katie
Go ahead.
Sackhoff is like is tempted by her protege, who's like, let's steal her doodad because
And
with
Julian Kostoff is the actor.
we can
Aaron Hunter.
We can use this thing to pretty much rob every bank in the world. It can break every firewall, can get any database. So it's priceless, right? And so they were going to set all this stuff up, but the ghost outsmarted them, and they weren't actually going to San Francisco. And so when they don't show up at San Francisco, Katie Sackhoff just murders the dude.
Just shoots him in the back of the head.
And then she calls her ex-boyfriend, who is Josh Hartnett, and is like, hey, are you going to bring me the ghost? And he's like, maybe. No, I'm not going to. And she's like, well, that's fine. You don't have to bring me the ghost. Can you bring me the doodad, her MacGuffin? And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then there's this awkward, supposed to be sentimental talk between...
And the girl smiled.
She smiled.
And
It's
the
like,
music changes. Oh,
he's really a good person. He's not going to turn me in, and I could continue to be Robin Hood and all these other things. And it's not done well. It's written very, very poorly. There's no emotion here whatsoever. It's just more stupid. But then Josh Hartnett, he succumbs to his wounds, and you don't know if he lives or he dies, and he closes his eyes, and we fade to black.
I'm like, let's go.
And we're like, he's dead. We need to leave, and it's not done yet because
God damn it.
he wakes up in a fucking war zone, and he's like on
And it's a little corner of a hospital with little pictures drawn and kids. And
Yeah.
you think it's nice at first, but then when it zooms out, there's gunshots on the wall. And it's
that's
like,
the legit drawings of the writers of this movie. They're just
Yeah.
with crayons, like,
With
I make
crayons.
movie,
I make movie.
movie.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And then gunfire and explosions in the background. They're in the middle of a war zone. He gets up and she runs in. Oh, it's not over. And he goes, shit.
And then
I said that too.
I said shit. Whatever.
It's not
like,
over. I'm like,
I never want
shit.
to see a sequel to this piece of shit. And it's gonna be fight or flight on a train. Only bullet train 1,000 times worse. Fight
I'd
or
watch
flight
it.
on a tuk-tuk.
I was
like
I was gonna say
tuk-tuks.
if they do like a small car, like a Fiat or something, they're
Fiat.
just fighting there. I was like, all right, I'll watch it.
Well, all right, you got me. Nah, man, this is stupid. We
Tiny
wanted to
car.
like it. And, you know, all of our description of it makes it seem way more badass than it is. It's the execution. It's always in the
Yeah,
execution.
you
It's
have
always
to-
in the dialogue. And when we're talking about these action scenes, they're few far between, in between a bunch of talking about these flight attendants, some supporting characters, and Josh Hartnett. And this actress, Isha, who is the ghost, Charithra Chandran. It just, I guess she's all right, but it just feels as if this was like her dad has money and this is just a vehicle for someone. I don't know if it's her or one of the other
mean like Trap?
actors. It's a trap.
like Trap.
The
Yeah,
movie
oh,
Trap.
Man.
That's basically what it was.
I think
a concert.
I probably would rather watch Trap.
No.
You would rather see this than Trap?
This one had more like at least some action
At least
or
something's
something.
happening. Trap was horrible.
All right.
This is a concert.
He needs
Well,
to watch
poor-
Trap. If he's going to
poor
try to make us
Josh
watch some of these
Hartnett.
shitty fucking movies, you got to watch Trap.
Poor Josh Hartnett has not been in good stuff lately, and that's going to be it for this one, guys. Stay away from this. Let us know whether you saw fucking Shadow
else.
Force or the clown movie over this weekend, and so that we can see a good movie. All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.